Media. Because of that cascading effect of what happens when you get overwhelmed, it's important to really just keep tabs on it so that you can manage wherever you happen to be in life.
Hi, my name is Ronnie Cruz. After almost 2 decades as a career network marketer, I realized that despite continual work on my personal and professional development, that I had hit a massive brick wall. So I took a deep and honest look at myself, top to bottom, hoping to find answers, and my search led me to one conclusion. The definitions I held of my business, of my world, of my life were the very things holding me back. If I wanted to change, if I wanted to grow beyond my current circumstances, I had to wipe the slate clean and redefine. This show is dedicated to helping you identify the belief systems, the mindsets, the very definitions that have held you back, and then help you break through those limitations to finally create the life you've been working so hard to achieve. Welcome to the Redefine Podcast.
All right, happy Tuesday and happy podcast day to you. Welcome to the show if you're brand new, and of course, if you're an existing listener, welcome back. Thanks for tuning in. I am out here on the mountain. Actually, I'm on the vineyard, and I wanted to film out here because it's a beautiful day. It's finally stopped raining. The rain has held off for a few days, and I'm taking as much advantage of it as I can, and getting outdoors, doing work out here on the mountain, and also to give you guys different scenery to look at, right? Different scenery. That said, because I'm filming outside, again, there will be some background noises, mostly nature noises out here. You will hear the occasional high altitude airplane, the occasional vehicle driving by on our road, the main road, which isn't close, but it just, the sound just echoes all the way up the mountain. And of course, like the occasional breeze going across my my wired earbud mics. So apologize in ahead of time, and I thank you for your understanding with any background noise. Now, today I want to talk about, I guess it's a conversation about overwhelm. And I know it's a topic I've visited before in the past, but it always warrants revisiting because, all of us just have so much stuff to do, right? Like we always, I think everybody in modern life, for the most part, it just has a huge to-do list, right? We all carry a lot on our plates, and we all have a lot of responsibilities. So it's important to kind of really have a good framework for managing and juggling these things. Otherwise, you'll go into overwhelm. And what tends to happen is when you go into overwhelm, you shut down. And when you shut down, you usually go into autopilot. And then outside of autopilot, in the very little spare time that you have, you go into seeking distraction and escape, right? And then 20, 30 years goes by, and you wonder why you weren't able to accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish. So it's important, because of that cascading effect of what happens when you get overwhelmed. It's important to really just keep tabs on it so that you can manage wherever you happen to be in life. Like for me, it has been a lot to juggle. It has been a lot to manage. The transitions that have happened over the last year. I was living by myself for over a year up here on the mountain, and then transitioning to helping my mom move, helping her pack her house, clean up the house. And getting her moved up here. Now she's up here. My sister's back. My 2 friends from Canada are here. The dogs are here. So it's been a massive change for me because I was alone for a year, right? Like I was up here by myself, and it was really nice. So I've had to adjust my lifestyle, and it's been a lot to handle. Not only just adjusting to the number of people that are here and the dogs, but doing all the things that we needed to take care of with the move, right? Like that took a lot of my time. So as a result of having some very kind of more pressing life event things on my plate that I had to focus on, I had to put some stuff on the back burner, right? I had to put some of the marketing on the back burner, and the stuff that I was learning on digital marketing and social media marketing, creating my own courses, I had to put on the back burner. Actually, that happened when my dad died last year. I had to put learning this new social media system for my network marketing business on the back burner, right? Because I had to really put more focus and attention on the things that were right in front of me, the things that were most pressing, and to those things required as much of my focus and attention as I could give them, and so that's why I had to put all these other things on the back burner. Now that what I then end up doing then is when I feel comfortable enough with the adjustment, or having made these adjustments, and falling into a good routine where I'm not expending as much energy and effort and focus anymore because it's become routine, then that's when I integrate a new thing, right? Not necessarily a new thing, but I reintegrate one thing back into my fold, right? So that way, okay, let me just take it one bite at a time. Let me add, the social media system that I'm learning. Let me add that back into the mix, because that's the most pressing for my network marketing business, right? So as I reintegrate these things back in, I only do it one at a time, or slowly, so that I can get used to it, and not completely expire and use up all my focus and energy, with trying to juggle, reintegrating 10, 15 things at a time, right? So yeah, I think it's really important for you as you're managing all the things that you have to manage. Um, Again, we all have a lot to do, and we all have a lot on our plate. So make sure you prioritize, right? Make sure you prioritize the things that you want to put the most focus on. Obviously, prioritize and put the most focus and energy in the things that are most pressing, career, family, the things that you actually have to handle right now, right? Like I see sometimes people just ignore things, and yeah, like, the metaphorical house is burning down, and because they're not prioritizing the things that they have to focus on. So focus on, make sure you prioritize the most urgent things, and then beyond that, the things that are the most important to you, right? Family, your community, your friends, your career, of course, whatever your spiritual practices are, right? Like, really, really sit down and think about, prioritizing the things that matter to you the most, that you have to pay, that you want to pay the most attention to and give the most focus on, and whatever your, of course, like your business goals, if you have business goals, your entrepreneurial goals, right? I'm just listing things off, and I think the caveat also, though, is to make sure when you're creating this list of priorities in these categories, like family, like career, like home, and things like that, make sure you are really, really giving deep consideration and thought into the definitions you have, as far as like maintaining and or achieving what you want to achieve in those categories. And I say this because sometimes we hold definitions about these categories, and based on really nothing except arbitrary definitions that are created by culture and society, right? Like, do you really need X, Y, and Z home? Do you really, is that what you really want? No, it's not about need, but is that what you really want? Or is it, are you enrolling your kid in every sport and in every dance thing and in every whatever activity just because that's what people do, right? Yeah, if your kid wants to do it, great, but don't just fill your day and fill your life with things that you have no idea why you're doing them. You're just doing them just to do them because that's what everybody does, right? So when you're prioritizing the categories that are important to you, make sure that they're important to you, and you have a clear definition of not only what that category is, and what success and achievement and all of that looks like to you, because again, this is what you're going to be focusing your energy and efforts on, but also why those categories and why those definitions are important to you. So yeah, and then start integrating the things slowly, one by one, and into your activities, and your focus and your efforts, and that way you'll be able to kind of slowly get accustomed to turning those things into habits, or making sure that the focus and energy that you're putting then becomes habit and becomes less effort, right? Because when something becomes habit, you're exerting less actual effort and energy, right? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. Just slowly integrate things. I talked about this way back when I was doing social media marketing, where, like, okay, slowly integrate adding reels into your day-to-day content creation. It was a content creation conversation, right? It's easy to get overwhelmed with content creation. So just slowly integrate adding a post every day on Facebook, or adding a reels, and adding another platform, doing a podcast, right? But you have all these things that you could do and that you could focus on, but focusing on all of those things at once can and will lead to burnout, because it's just a lot to handle if you're not already used to it, right? So get used to whatever it is that's on your plate. Get used to focusing your energy and efforts on those things, and again, once you're comfortable with those and they've become habit, then integrate something else, right? Integrate another level, integrate another activity, integrate another focus. That's what I've had to do, and hopefully we'll start to be able to kind of ratchet up with not only the podcast, but with the other shows, and with my Path of the Jedi podcast, as well as with my social media systems and the digital marketing and all that stuff. So anyways, I'm just rambling now at this point. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy Tuesday when this releases, and I'll catch you on Thursday with a fresh new one. So until then, be well, be safe. We'll see you in the next episode.